When God writes a story, every step turns into a sign. There is a moment when your soul begins to sense something sacred moving in your life. A shift takes place that cannot be explained through logic, timing, or your past experiences. You feel pulled, guided, aligned, sharpened, and awakened all at once. It is the quiet knowing inside you that tells your heart. This is no longer your journey alone. Heaven is preparing you for a connection that carries purpose. This is not ordinary love, this is divine selection, when God chooses your spouse, not culture, not loneliness, not pressure, not fear, not temporary desire, but God Himself. Your life starts to unfold in ways that signal spiritual preparation, inner alignment, and divine orchestration. These shifts are not random, they are not accidental, they are fingerprints of God in your story. In today's video, we are going to break down 5 powerful things that begin to happen in your life when God chooses your spouse, followed by guiding scriptures, spiritual insights, and deep transformational lessons for your journey. By the end of this video, you will not only understand the signs, you will understand the spiritual reasons behind them. Why God's choice looks different from your choice. When humans choose based on their emotions, attraction, or impatience, relationships grow from temporary soil. They rise quickly, but they also fall quickly. They get carried by passion, but not purpose. They get carried by desire, but not destiny. They get carried by feelings, but not foundation. But when God chooses, everything changes. God's plan for your spouse includes spiritual compatibility, emotional maturity, stability, purpose alignment, kingdom assignment, mutual growth, a foundation built on Him. Proverbs 19 verse 14 says, "A prudent spouse is from the Lord." This means God selects someone that your destiny needs, not someone your loneliness wants. God's choice lifts you, God's choice protects you, God's choice grows you, God's choice partners with your purpose, God's choice strengthens your walk with Him. And this is why signs begin to show up when God is preparing you for the right person. They are indicators that your heart, your spirit, your path, and your purpose are shifting into alignment. Sign 1: God starts refining your heart. One of the strongest signs that God is preparing you for the spouse He chose is refinement. Before God brings the right person, God prepares the right version of you. This refinement looks like losing interest in shallow connections, healing from old emotional wounds, developing patience, becoming more selective, growing spiritually. Understanding your worth, rejecting confusion, letting go of people that distract you, breaking unhealthy patterns, strengthening your relationship with God. God does not bring a blessing into an unprepared environment. Psalm 51 verse 10 says, "Create in me a clean heart, O God, and renew a right spirit within me." When God refines your heart, several things start happening. You start wanting a deeper, more meaningful connection. You stop chasing temporary attention and start valuing long-term purpose. You start desiring emotional maturity. You stop tolerating behavior that drains your peace. You start craving spiritual unity. Your spirit rejects anyone who pulls you away from God. You start healing. God cannot guide you into a new story while your heart clings to old pain. You start seeing your own patterns, and once you see them, you cannot return to what broke you. Refinement is not punishment, refinement is preparation. You can only carry a divine connection once your heart is strong enough to recognize it. Sign 2. God teaches you the value of patience. When God chooses your spouse, you shift from rushing relationships, forcing connections, trying to control outcomes, settling for less, entertaining inconsistency. To waiting with purpose. This patience is not passive, it is spiritual training. Psalm 37 verse 7 says, "Rest in the Lord and wait patiently for Him." When patience enters your spirit, you stop chasing people, what is yours grows toward you. You stop forcing relationships, you understand that peace is a sign of God, and confusion is not. You stop accepting mixed signals, you realize that someone who is meant for you does not pull you into emotional chaos. You stop trying to speed up God's timing, you begin trusting that the right person arrives at the right time. You start focusing on purpose, you redirect your energy toward growth instead of anxiety. Patience trains your faith, patience trains your spirit, patience prepares your future. When God develops patience in you, He is letting you know that He is building something stable, not fragile. Something long-lasting, not temporary. Sign 3. God removes wrong relationships from your path. When God chooses your spouse, the wrong people start leaving your life. Sometimes, people fade, communication drops, feelings shift, motives get exposed, situations change, patterns reveal truth, the connection simply collapses. It is not coincidence, it is divine protection. Isaiah 43 verses 18 to 19 says, "Do not dwell on the past. See, I am doing a new thing." God removes what blocks His plan. This removal can feel painful at first, but later you will understand. God removed distractions, God removed emotional drain, God removed temptation, God removed people without long-term purpose, God removed situations that slowed your growth, God removed connections that weakened your faith. God's no protects your destiny as strongly as God's yes. And something powerful begins to happen right after God removes the wrong people. You gain clarity, you stop being blinded by attachment. You gain peace, even if the ending hurts, the relief grows stronger. You gain direction, your choices start aligning with your spiritual goals. You gain room for the right one. God does not pour new blessings into full spaces. This is divine pruning. Every removal creates space for God's selection. Sign 4. God gives you peace instead of anxiety. God's choice carries something unmistakable: peace, clarity, stability, confidence, emotional grounding. Confusion is not from God, stress is not from God, chaos is not from God. 1 Corinthians 14 verse 33 says, "For God is not the author of confusion, but of peace." When God chooses your spouse, you begin to experience A calmness inside your heart, even when circumstances are uncertain. A sense of direction, your spirit knows this connection carries purpose. The absence of emotional games, God's choice does not drain you. A strengthened relationship with God, the connection pushes you closer to Him, not away. A steady inner assurance, not forced. Not pressured. Not anxious, God's choice brings peace even before the relationship starts. And that peace becomes confirmation, not the only confirmation, but a powerful one. Sign 5. Your purpose starts aligning with their purpose. When God chooses your spouse, destiny aligns, your calling begins to grow in the same direction as the one God is preparing for you. This is not something you create, it is something God orchestrates. Ecclesiastes 4 verse 9 says, "Two are better than one, because they have a good reward for their labor." This is not simply partnership. This is purpose partnership. God's chosen spouse for you will strengthen your faith, support your calling, encourage your growth, sharpen your character, expand your spiritual capacity, stand with you through seasons, inspire your best self. This alignment shows up in signs like increased clarity about your calling, your spirit becomes more focused. A deeper desire to grow, you start preparing for your future, not escaping from your past. A greater sense of responsibility, you feel the need to build your life, not waste it. A shift in priorities, you start letting go of what distracts you. A rise in discipline, you start moving with intention, not emotion. Purpose alignment is a spiritual sign that your destiny is shifting into place. Now let's go into the deeper interpretation of these signs. Why God reveals these signs before the person arrives. God reveals signs before the relationship begins because preparation prevents heartbreak, preparation builds maturity, preparation protects destiny, preparation strengthens faith, preparation clears distractions, preparation shifts you away from emotional impulse, preparation guides you toward spiritual stability. God prepares the vessel before He pours the blessing. Think of it this way, a relationship chosen by God carries spiritual weight, it carries purpose, it carries generational influence, it carries kingdom assignment, it carries sacred responsibility. This is why God cannot rush this process. This is why He cannot bring the wrong person into the right season. This is why He cannot bring the right person into the wrong version of you. Preparation is God's strategy. Signs are God's communication, peace is God's confirmation, alignment is God's signature. How to position your heart for God's choice. If you sense these signs unfolding in your life, here is how to position yourself for the spouse God chose. 1. Strengthen your relationship with God, seek Him first, love Him first, trust Him first. Matthew 6 verse 33 says, "Seek first the kingdom of God, and all these things will be added unto you." 2. Guard your heart, not everyone that enters your life deserves access. Proverbs 4 verse 23 says, "Keep your heart with all diligence, for out of it flow the issues of life." 3. Heal deeply, do not carry past wounds into a divine relationship. 4. Set standards with wisdom, a God-chosen relationship cannot survive in a place where your standards collapse. 5. Pray for clarity, God reveals, God confirms, God directs. 6. Remove counterfeits, God will not compete with distractions. 7. Build your purpose, the right person strengthens your mission, not replaces it. When you position your spirit in these ways, you align with what God is preparing for you. Before we close this message, take one truth with you: when God chooses your spouse, He prepares your heart long before He reveals the person. You will know by the peace, you will know by the alignment, you will know by the spiritual clarity, you will know by the purpose rising within you. You will know because God will make it unmistakable. This season is not about waiting in frustration, it is about preparing in faith. If this message spoke to your spirit, and if you want more deep, God-centered teachings like this, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, like this video, share it with someone who needs this message today. Your support helps this message reach the people God is calling. Stay blessed, stay strengthened, stay aligned with God's timing.